Hey, people do business with people they like. People do business with people they like. If you're anything like me when I was in high school, I think to make somebody like me was by having just the same interests. So I walk up to a girl and say, oh, you know what you're gonna do this afternoon? And she's gonna say, I'm gonna go play football, because that girl, for whatever reason, was such a big fan of football. And I'm really not a football fan at all. And so I'm like, oh, really interesting. Yeah, I like to play. We sometimes go there, blah, blah, blah. All of that, of course, was a big lie. And it didn't come across very well. Now, guess what? It's the same in a sales situation. So many people make the mistake of hearing something that the customer says and then thinking that they have to jump onto that and become a golf player or whatever it is. Do not do this. This is not gonna work. It's gonna backfire on you, and you can avoid that very easily. Now, what rapport is, and what making people to like you is, has so much more to do with three things. Number one, the body language. Number two, your tonality and the way you speak. We just reviewed that, we just talked about that. And number three, really some form of active listening. An active listening that shows I care, but it also shows them you're still there, you're with them, and you actually want to understand them. So those are the three things to build rapport. Now, we talked already about tonality. I want to talk now a little bit about body language and what it is that makes active listening. Let's start with the body language. There's so much you can learn about body language. However, there's a few big no-goes, and I really want to just focus on them here. And there's a little bit of a difference here between men and women, simply by the way that back in history, when we were all living in caves, etc. When you walk up to a woman and you kind of get too close, you're basically invading the space. And if that woman doesn't trust you, doesn't know you, she will retreat and she will see you as a threat. So speaking with women, you want to make sure that you do not invade the space too much, but depending on the culture that you're in, you probably want to keep a good arm length distance. With women also, it's actually fine to face them straight on so that they see you're not hiding anything, that you're straight up, you don't invade my space. That's when you have their full attention. For men, it's a little bit different. For men, actually, you do not want to be all straight up facing them, because back in the times when caveman A met caveman B and was standing right in front of them, well, guess what? There was a threat to them. And you do want to avoid that, because obviously you don't want to start a fight, and you also don't want to give them a feeling that you're a threat, because you're really just helping them and giving a solution. So what you want to do is, if your prospect is standing here, well, you want to step aside, or what you can also do is simply move a little bit your shoulders to the left. That's usually all right. That the angle shows to him that you're not a threat. Another important thing with body language is anything your eyes are doing. Your eyes are the mirror to the soul. Well, guess what? It's very important that, number one, you keep eye contact. With both men and women, you want to keep solid eye contact most of the time. Now, guess how much of the time? Is it really going to be 100%? Is it close to none of the time? Where is the right amount of eye contact that you want to have? There have been studies that showed that the right amount of eye contact is around 72%. 72% basically doesn't mean you're staring at them all the time, and it also doesn't mean you're just looking and just looking them in the eye every now and then. You have nothing to hide, you're proud of what you're doing, and you can help them. And that's why most of the time you're looking at them without threatening them either, but really try to keep at least 2/3 of eye contact, solid eye contact with them. Let's speak now about the second rule, or one of the three rules that I just gave you, which is active listening, and to show you how can you actively listen, because especially if you're on the phone, things that you can do are limited, you might think. And you're right. At the same time, there's so much you can do with simple things like all these sounds that have no concrete meaning, but their tonality really shows I care, I'm interested, I want to know. So that's one way how you can show that you're an active listener to whatever they have to say. Another way is really just to use words like right, got you, I'm with you, okay, all right, understood, that makes sense. All of these really flow well, because the person again feels that you're actually listening, you're with them, and you're understanding them. And nothing feels better for most people than having the feeling of being understood and not just sold something to. Now, finally, there's another technique that few people know about. It is so simple, and first time you hear this, you will probably think, well, does this work? They might think this is weird. It actually is a like a very solid technique that you should use. And this is really just summarizing what they just said. So when you think this was something important that you just heard, it's important for your sale later on, or it's important for them, what you want to do is you simply say basically exactly what they just said, and you do it in a way that is, let's say, the guy's called John, and he just talked about the issues he's having with internal forecasting of whatever it is, sales, marketing, etc. So what are you going to do? So John, if I understood you correctly, what you're worried about right now is the fact that it's difficult to forecast, the sales and the marketing figures that you're going to have by the end of the year. Is that right? And he's going to say, oh yeah, exactly, that's right. And really try it out. Doesn't have to be in a sales conversation. Try it out. Also try out the other ones, that you become an active listener. And you will be surprised what that does to your ability to connect to other people and your ability to build this rapport. I hope you like this segment. If you do, hope to see you in the next segment.